Folks, Christopher Balkran here, the host of the Open Minds live show. Justin Trudeau should have resigned by the time you're seeing this. And if he hasn't, I do believe it's a failure of our government and our systems of government as well. I just want to put this in perspective, folks. The Liberal Party of Canada is sitting at a 16% approval rating, 16% approval. So Trudeau's approval ratings are so abysmal, but our system actually allows for the Prime Minister to continue on and not call an election so long as he has the confidence in the House of Commons. And in fact, the NDP are propping up the Liberal government as we speak. But this points to a bigger question, folks. With such abysmal approval ratings, why isn't the Governor General and Buckingham Palace getting involved? We are a constitutional monarchy. We do pledge allegiance to the King of England, folks. By the way, just so that everyone's aware, the Prime Minister means the first among ministers to report to the King. And the fact that our Governor General should actually be saying, Mr. Prime Minister, your approval ratings are at best 14%. 14%. So we implore you to call an election as early as possible, or at least call a confidence vote in the House of Commons. And failing that, the Governor General should do it on behalf of the Prime Minister and dissolve government. So what do I think should happen in the future going forward? One, I do believe Prime Ministers should have term limits. There should be term limits on all Prime Ministers. Oh, there's an emergency car. I think there should be term limits on all Prime Ministers. 4 years, and at the end of that term, the party and even the House should determine if that Prime Minister should continue. The second, and perhaps most important, once the approval ratings of a Prime Minister drop below 30%, a confidence vote in the House must be called, and if the Prime Minister continues to govern, the Governor General must dissolve Parliament. Now, you might be asking 30%. Everyone hovers around 30%. But the reality is that means so many Canadians are questioning the government and its ability to govern. There's way too much power that I've noticed invested in the Prime Minister's office. And we as a constitutional monarchy should actually be concerned why the Governor General and others are not stepping up. And folks, the last point I want to make about this, do you think this is precisely why the U.S. government right now under the Trump administration is looking to Canada with our weak leadership and seeing, hey, wait a second, they could be the 51st state. They could, in fact, be part of the United States because their leader doesn't even have the support of his own people. Now, you might be thinking, Christopher, oh, this is too extreme and this is too alarmist. Folks, I just want to remind you, every civilization that fell had a crisis of leadership. A crisis of leadership happened in Rome. A crisis of leadership happened in Aztec Mexico. There were crises of leadership throughout some of the greatest civilizations in the world, and I think right now we're facing a little bit of that in Canada. So what do you think? If Trudeau has not resigned today, by the time you're seeing this, do you think that the Governor General and Buckingham Palace should get involved? Let me know what you think, folks. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, definitely do that. My name is Christopher, the host of the Open Minds live show, where we can engage in open and honest discourse.